for On the Grind Boxing. We're here with Kevin Iole for Yahoo Sports. Kevin, how do you see the fight playing out tomorrow?
I think it's going to be a fascinating fight. I think it'll be, in a lot of ways, similar to the first fight. I think Pascal is going to come out even harder in the early rounds than he did, because I think he saw he was close to getting Bernard out of there, and I think he's going to want to try to get that knockout that if he gets it, it's going to define his career. I think Pascal comes out hard. I think you're going to see Bernard do two things. In the early rounds, try to make it a rough fight, make it a slow fight, slow down the pace. I also think Bernard's going to go hard to the body. Bernard had some success in the first fight going to the body. I think he's going to do that again. Also maybe coming up with some uppercuts.
Okay, right now, going into the fight, where would you rank Bernard Hopkins all-time pound for pound
or middleweight? I would rate him in the top 100 all-time, of all fighters. I don't think he's a top 20 fighter by any stretch of the imagination. But, he's a guy that when you compare him, especially to the greats in his division, primarily middleweight, he's right there. I don't think he's, the greatest middleweight ever. To me, Sugar Ray Robinson is the greatest fighter and the greatest middleweight ever. But, Bernard is in there. I don't think anybody would blow through him. I think he's a phenomenal fighter.
Jean Pascal defends his title successfully on Saturday night. Who would you like to see him face next?
Well, I think a rematch with Dawson would be, assuming Dawson beats Diagonu, which I think he will, I think that would be a very compelling fight. Chad didn't perform very well in their first fight. I think, he didn't give a lot of credit to Jean Pascal, and I think, that was a mistake. Pascal is a very good fighter, so I think if Pascal beats Bernard Hopkins, fight Chad Dawson, I think that would be a big fight in the division. And then down the road, look at Tavoris Cloud. I think Tavoris Cloud is a guy that's kind of in the background. Glenn Johnson got a lot of attention by these guys, but Tavoris Cloud is a good young fighter, so I would say Chad Dawson next, and Tavoris Cloud, assuming that he wins.
Okay. Everyone knows that Pascal versus Butte would be a mega fight in Canada. If that fight were to go down, who do you like in that fight?
I would lean toward Butte. I think he's the bigger, the better fighter overall. But that weight difference will be a factor. It's only one division, 7 pounds. But I think Pascal is legitimately a bigger guy, and that could be a factor. But I think Butte is the better boxer, has a more complete arsenal, and I would favor Butte.
All right, Kevin. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.